Hey everybody, Jasmine and I are here just to kind of explain. There's been a couple outstanding questions in regards to how to locate accommodation trackers and how you go about to complete them. So if you go to the UPAD high school course for the 2021 school year, in the folder you will see that there is a subfolder called accommodation trackers. It's a red folder. This is my view, so your view may not look exactly the same. You should have been assigned September, October, November, and December trackers. You will see that they're already labeled with the due date. So when you go and you open the accommodation tracker, the layout will be in this format. You can skip the first tab as previously mentioned. This was the original format and honestly was just left there in error to kind of be able to have all the dates available. So the bottom tabs have your hours, your class periods. So if we go to B hour and you look at your roster, you identify the students who you have in B hour. Let's theoretically say one of the students that you have is Devin F. You would type Devin's name here. You would then go to where his IEPs are located. If you are in the 9th or the 10th grade, if you are a 9th or 10th grade teacher who has students on caseload in the 9th or 10th grades, you can locate them on the shared drive that Jasmine shared with you. If you are an 11th or 12th grade teacher, you will find them also within the UPAD high school course. You will see there's a yellow folder for 11th grade and an orange folder for the 12th grade IEPs.
Also, for our teachers, you are also added onto those 9th and 10th grade folders.
So for this example, we're going to use a 9th grade student named Devin. We will go to Devin's IEP. You're going to scroll through until you locate this page right here. It's entitled Supplementary Aids and Services. This particular page could fluctuate where it's located within the actual PDF document of any IEP, but it will be in the 30s. So if you want to just skip down to like the 30s, usually about the page 33 to 37 is where it should start. You are going to read these accommodations. So for this student, he has extended time up to time and a half. It explains when he needs that accommodation provided and what courses that it should be provided in. If the accommodation is applicable to your class, even if, let's say, art is not listed here explicitly, it is an elective class, therefore it would stay in this category. It is applicable to them. Alternative location option, it'll explain when it's applicable, what classes it's applicable for. If the accommodation is applicable to your class, you then type in the accommodation. So he has extended time, time and a half. He has alternate location option. And he also has calculation. Let's say I teach ELA, he does not need a calculator, so therefore he will not have it. But if I did teach math, then you would include it there. Or science. Anytime the accommodation is offered to that particular student, you will then just simply put an X, denoting that he received it that day, it was offered that day. If you've offered it and the student explicitly refuses to do it, especially like for time and a half, okay? This is important for us to know. Just denote that the student refused it or did not need it, right? This will give us substantial data that will help us in planning future IEPs for that particular student. So once you've then entered all this for Devin, you could then find the next student that you have in B hour and denote them here, go through the same process over and over. Once you have all your students entered, you just monitor it for that particular month. The first Friday of the following month, which would be November 6th, you are then gonna submit your accommodation tracker via this assignment. It was already here, so you're going to submit it here. I'm sorry, Ms. Wool, I did not mean to put you on blast. You already turned yours in. But it'll denote if people have already opened it, how they've submitted it, just similar, you are now a student within this particular class. So the same way students submit assignments, the leadership team will be reviewing these to make sure that all staff members have been submitting them in a timely fashion.
It's very important to note, like, this is not something we want to do to make more things for you to do. But this is a federal requirement that students receive their accommodations. And if we're ever audited or anything happens, we would like for us to not even have to come to you because we already have the information. So this is to make life easier on the back end instead of having to throw something else on your plate later. And also, after you front, like the first one is going to be the most tedious, but for the most part, many of the students' accommodations do not change unless they have an IEP, which then they may have added one or two or taken away something. So for the most part, you can copy them from month to month after you fill in the first one.
If you have any other questions, feel free to reach out to either Jasmine or myself, and we'll be glad to help you with this. All right, y'all, have a good day.